Come on, Walter.
Okay, so we are going to try to figure out what is the total area of the figure shown. Just in case you're wondering, we have a cat and its name is not Walter, but my husband is insisting on calling her that. So, all right, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to split this into two rectangles. Okay, so in this case, we're going to have to find this. We already know this is 5, and we're going to have to find the side down here. Up here, we know this is a 3, and this is a 10. So let's see if we can figure everything out here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to write down what we have. We've got two things side by side, so to find the total area, we are going to add them. We're going to add the area of the first rectangle plus the area of the second rectangle. Okay? Now, the way we're going to do that is we are going to use each formula. So let's write those down. We know what they're going to look like. The formula for the area of a rectangle is length times width. Then we're going to add the second one too. Okay, so let's come over to our calculator and we're going to start by working with our first rectangle up top. This here is the length or the width, whatever you want to call it. And then we also have this up here, which is 10. So I'm going to call the length 10, and I'm going to call the width 3. So that gives me 30. That tells me that the area of the first rectangle is 30. So let me go ahead and type that in down here. So we've got 30. And then I'm going to put a plus, and then we'll find the next one. So I'm going to come back over here to the calculator. I'm going to clear out my 10 and my 3. And we've got to figure some stuff out. Well, we know this side here is 5. So let's go ahead and call that the length. But we need to find this here. We need to find what that width is going to be. Okay? Since this is a horizontal line, I need to look at all the horizontal lines in this picture. This whole side up top is 10. Then this part is 6. If I know this whole thing is 10 and this part is 6, I can subtract them to find the width. So I'm going to start with 10 minus 6. That means my width is 4. And that's what my calculator has plugged in here. So that means that my area for this second rectangle is 20. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to type 20. So that means we have to add them together. Well, 30 plus 20 would be 50, and it would be units squared. So that would be our answer. All right. So let's go on to the next one. This says what is the total perimeter of the figure shown. Well, perimeter just means add all the sides. So let's make sure that we have them all. This is 5, 6, 2. We're missing this one, and this one here at the bottom is 3. So let's find these two missing sides. This is a horizontal line, so let's look at our other horizontal lines. We've got a 6 up at the top, which is the whole thing, and 3, which is part of it. So we're going to take the 6 minus 3, and that means this here is an additional 3. Okay, because this horizontal's 3, this horizontal's 3, and if you add them together, you get the whole thing at the top. Now, let's change pen colors, and let's try to find this piece we're missing here. I've got a vertical here that's 5, that's the whole thing. I've got part of a vertical here, which is 2, and I'm missing this spot right here. So let's go ahead and take the whole vertical minus the 2, and that leaves us with 3. So this is also 3. Now that I have all of the different sides, I can add them all together. I'm going to add 5 plus 6 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay, so let's make sure we got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So that means my total perimeter would be 22 feet. Okay, remember, perimeter just means add up all the sides. And if you're missing any, make sure you find them. All right, this says, what is the total area of the figure shown? Well, again, we're going to come over here and we're going to type things up. I'm going to say I have a semicircle, and I'm going to add a rectangle. Then I'm going to add another semicircle. Well, something I want you to look at here. If I have 2 semicircles, doesn't that just make one circle? It does. So instead of doing a semicircle plus a rectangle plus a semicircle, you could also do 1 circle plus 1 rectangle. I'm going to go ahead and do it according to this picture. Okay? So let me go ahead. The formula for a semicircle is 1/2, and then it's pi. So I'm going to go ahead and just write pi. I don't know if I have a symbol. Maybe I have a symbol. Pi. Put it right there if it'll let me. Nope, it won't. So I'm just going to write it. Pi r and squared it. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my rectangle, which is length times width. And then I'm going to add that semicircle again at the other end, which is 1/2 pi r squared. All right, so let me get all my formulas in my calculator. So I've got 1/2 pi r squared. Whoops, let me fix that. Sorry about that. I gotta move over before I do the pi r squared. And then I'm gonna go to the next line and I'm gonna put in r equals. And I'm gonna look at my picture. This entire diameter is 64. So if I want to make that diameter a radius, I have to divide it by 2. So my radius is 32. And my area of this part of my figure is 1,608. And I'm going to round to the nearest tenth, 0.5. Now I know this semicircle over here, it has the exact same diameter, so it has the exact same radius, so I know it's the exact same thing. 1,608.5. So now all that's left is the area of my rectangle, which is length times width. So my length and my width are the last things I have to plug in. My length is 100, and my width is that entire 64. So that means that the area of my rectangle is 6,400 units squared. So find the total area. I'm going to add all those numbers together. So I'm going to add 1608 0.5 plus 6,400 plus 1608.5. And that gives me a total of 9,617 meters squared. That would be my total area for that figure. Also, remember, I did use a semicircle formula, but if you wanted to just do one whole circle, because 2 halves make a whole, plus the rectangle, that would also give you the same answer. All right? Okay, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.